Welcome to the Stan Sheriff Center. Kanoa Leahy and Chris McLaughlin sitting courtside. The Hawaiian Tel FCU starting lineup scrolling at the bottom of your screen. It is Stanford, 10-14 overall, 7-11 in the MPSF, coming in a virtual tie for 8th place with the same amount of wins, 7, as CSUN and UCLA going up against Hawaii, 21-3, 16-2, and in first place of the MPSF, and ranked, of course, #1 in the nation. Stanford working the quick side out as the Rainbow Warriors got the service started. So a 1-serving-0 early scenario here for the Cardinal, and back to slap it into play is the 5'9" freshman libero, transferred to the setter position, Kyle D'Agostino. Hawaii goes middle to Taylor Averill. And Averill, who has been a rock for this team in that middle position, comes through again. #2 in the country in kill percentage, hitting over 500, means he, over half the time, he's putting the ball down for a kill. Those are pretty good numbers. Final regular season homestand for Hawaii, so the seniors will be honored tomorrow. Kupono Faye with the serve. Stanford trying to work the middle, mistimed, and so now a free chance for Hawaii. It's Siki Zarkovic getting the swing, and he puts it down to the Terraflex. Bit of a broken play there. Siki getting a high ball on the outside, something that the blockers love because they can get out there and get set up, but somehow Siki found a way to squeeze it through. Hawaii playing in the Stan Sheriff Center for the first time in about a month. Faye with a tough serve, the pass by Madison Hayden. Bump set goes left side to Gabriel Vega, the Iolani school product. Now Hawaii going back row, and Faye able to make it happen. Hawaii looking pretty good in transition there. Nice dig by Kanatake, as usual. One of the top diggers in the country right now, and Faye hitting the back row quick out of the back row. 4th straight week that Hawaii has occupied the ABCA #1 ranking. 3 serve and 1. Faye that time caught it a little fat, sends it long, so a 3-point for Stanford. Got a decent looking crowd entering, still filing into the Stan Sheriff Center in fact tonight. Well, all year long it's been lower bowl only. All of a sudden now we're looking up and going, wow, yeah, they opened up the upper bowl. Yeah, the lower bowl is but a memory. Zarkovic able to put a good one in the memory bank as he slams one for a Hawaii point, 4 serving 2. Zarkovic, who is second on the team in kills per set at 3.25, fought off some injury this year. But this Hawaii team has certainly put together quite a run, and you can sort of sense that added swagger to their demeanor. Left side set goes to Madison Hayden, and he is denied access. Jennings Franciscovic and Davis Holt putting up the wall. And Madison Hayden has led Stanford this year with 3.0 kills per set. He doesn't get blocked that often, and he's hitting 209. Averill, the 6'7" senior from San Jose, high toss. Pass by another Hawaii product, Evan Enriquez. And it results in a Conrad Kaminsky kill, the 6'8" junior from New Berlin, Wisconsin. Yes, last name Kaminsky, different spelling than the Wisconsin Badger National Player of the Year, but still a popular name around those parts in Wisconsin. It's an I instead of a Y, but yeah, he had a phenomenal year last year. Played All-American, 2 different polls. Zarkovic again. They're going to Siki early and often, and he's coming through for the most part. Siki loves getting the set. The more, the merrier. And he tends to really come through late in the set. So the setter, Jennings Franciscovic, the sophomore with the serve. Good pass by Enriquez. And they work that short set to Spencer Haley, 6'7" senior from Newport Beach, California. It has been a hodgepodge of lineups this year for Stanford head coach John Costi. Remember, this is a Cardinal team that went all the way to the national championship match last year, but they lost a ton from that roster a season ago. Here's Brooks Sador on the outside set. Good diving save by Daniel Tublin. Left side, it's Hayden, and he's able to take a little something off, just enough to throw off the Hawaii D, and it's another point for Stanford. But Stanford has used, coming into this match, 16 different starting lineups. The same the last 4 matches, though, so perhaps finally starting to realize a little consistency there. Yeah, it hasn't helped that their star center, James Shaw, has had
4 different injuries this year. That's what's catapulted John Costi into throwing out one lineup after another, week after week.
Well, that ace by Gabo Vega, the 6'7" redshirt sophomore from Kailua out of Iolani, that catapults Stanford into a tie with Hawaii, 6 serving 6. And he delivers back-to-back aces. And all of a sudden, the Cardinal in front thanks to a 4-0 run. Charlie Wade in his 6th year says that the thing that has helped this team, it has maintained focus on the task at hand, and that task is just every day trying to get a little bit better. Sador pinballed around, Stanford unable to return it, and it's a point for Hawaii. How good has Brooks Sador been this season, Chris?
How about getting 1,000 kills for his career? Pretty special accomplishment by Brook, and he seems to be getting better and better. Early in the year, he was struggling a bit. Now he's playing much better.
Vega, what a dig by Colby Kanetake, the libero, and from the back row, Zarkovic right on cue.
Oh, what a set from Jennings Franciscovich, too. Right on the money. Vega just drills it down the line. Colby Kanetake right there to pop it up, and Zarkovic again finishes.
And the crowd making some noise for Siki's next serve. Pass by Enriquez, chased down by the setter D'Agostino. Left side, it is Aiden. Franciscovich keeps it alive. Now Zarkovic off of the set from Kanetake.
Zarkovic just on fire right now. Everything he swings at, he gets a kill. There's his 5th kill of the night right there.
At double-digit kills in UH's first series sweep at UCLA in since 2003. The last couple of matches for Hawaii at Pauley Pavilion, and that's Gabriel Vega plugging it through the Hawaii block. This is a guy who took a year off last year, redshirted, was originally an outside hitter before transitioning this season to the opposite position, and head coach John Costi saying it's just been something that's allowed him to simplify the game a little bit.
Yeah, and he's really responding well. How about getting National Player of the Week a while back? They beat BYU twice in a row.
Kanetake, good pass. Fade comes flying in and works the block to his advantage.
These two teams seem like they got a little bit extra adrenaline since there's a few more people in the crowd. The Chancellor's here, had a little party before the match. The new coach is in the house from basketball.
Soft serve by Davis Holt. One hand set goes middle to Haley, and he sends it long. That's a point for Hawaii. It's 11 serving 8 here in the first. Not to mention, anytime it's Hawaii-Stanford, the connections between these two programs as you take a look at head coach John Costi.
Especially all the Hawaiians that Costi's stolen, right?
Well, you know a little something about that there, my friend.
Yeah.
Right side, here's Vega. Yeah, he's looking sharp.
He really is. I went up there last year and saw him practicing when he was redshirting, and he had to wear a mask, like a hockey mask, over his face because he'd gotten hit and had concussion-like symptoms all year long. So when he did practice, he had to wear this mask, and it was really a tough year for him, but he has really come on strong this year, playing really good volleyball.
Kupono Faye coming on strong on that sequence, going off the fingertips and out, so 12-9 Hawaii here in the first. Of course, your son, Spencer, now an assistant for Hawaii, a member of Stanford's last national championship team in 2010. You were also a contributor to that fantastic season.
Just a little bit.
Brooks Sador with the serve. Left side set goes to Tublin. Good dig by Zarkovic. Little joust at the net. And it's Jennings Franciscovich with the swing. Stanford able to transition. And it's Kaminsky putting it down. Sort of an off-speed hit. But it works either way. 10 serving 12 coming up.
Kind of a strange play right here. Good cutback, though, by Kaminsky. He hits for a very high percentage. Does not make many errors. He's hitting 396 last year. He hit 500, number 2 in the country.
10 serving, 12. Pass by Zarkovic. They go middle to Averill, couldn't get all of it. So a chance now for the Cardinal. They go right side to Vega against a double block. Just missed the end line. No touch up front. And it's a point for the Rainbow Warriors.
You can tell Hawaii's block is really leaning towards Vega's side of the court, making sure, let's see if this ball's in. Oh, just missed. Making sure Vega's always got 2 blockers up against him.
Here's Faye coming with a jump serve. Good pass by Enriquez. Set high and away. It's Vega from the outside position. What a dig, Kanetake. Zarkovic, short jump off the block. Chance now for the Cardinal. They go delay, back row set to Hayden. Blocked, but it's kept alive. Free chance now for Hawaii. Franciscovich goes to Averill. Pounds it down.
You know, it was about 3 or 4 plays back. But what made that point? Colby Kanetake once again going low to the floor, giving up his body. His back's bothered him a little bit, but not as much as it was 2 weeks ago. He's getting better.
Largest lead of this opening stanza for Hawaii. Faye brings it again. And it's an ace. Timeout on the Terraflex. Hawaii by a handful. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match. Chris?
For Stanford, if they're going to get Hawaii out of system, they've got to gamble from behind the service line and serve some tough balls. When Hawaii's out of system, not nearly as effective. Watch tonight to see if Stanford can force Hawaii to pass behind the 3-meter line. And for Hawaii, they cannot look past the card. If they start thinking about BYU next weekend, which is arguably a more important series, they're going to be in trouble because the Cardinal could surprise them.
Served by Faye out of the timeout, and there is Taylor Averill shutting it down on Conrad Kaminsky.
This is a great matchup. Maybe one of the prime matchups in this series is Kaminsky versus Averill. Nice little net cam shot there.
A 4-0 run here for Hawaii. 16 serving 10. Faye continues to work it from behind the service line. They go back row to Hayden. And he's able to pound it through the Hawaii defense. So a point for Stanford. See the numbers for Madison Hayden, a 6'3" junior from Huntington Beach, California. Kanetake handles that serve. Here's Sador from the opposite position. Out of bounds it goes off of the dig attempt of Evan Enriquez.
What a swing by Brook that time. He got the ball about the 10-foot line. Instead of going cross-court, he chose to go down the line. Enriquez dug it, but couldn't quite control it.
One of the things that we talked about in the pregame, Chris, was the 10-day layoff for Hawaii since their last set of road matches at UCLA. How would they come out here tonight after the layoff? What do you think here so far as you see Daniel Tublin going off of Faye and out for a Stanford point?
Not surprised that they look sharp. As I told you, I watched practice a couple times this week, and they looked very good. A team versus B team. Every guy that I saw was playing pretty well. And I would be very surprised if they stayed with the same 7 guys all night, though. I see Charlie Way. I can see him putting some other players in to reward them for good practices.
Well, the set and timing on the Zarkovic hit not there, so Cardinal transitioning. The block was up for Hawaii, but to no avail for Stanford as they tried to forge a return. It was Tublin getting smothered from the back row, and Davis Holt leading the way in the middle for Hawaii. 18 serving 12. And here's Franciscovich. Second in the MPSF, 5th in the nation in assists. Middle set goes to Haley. Right there is Franciscovich. So Kanetake sets up Sador, pulls the string, diving save by a couple of cards. Chance now for Hawaii. Here's Zarkovic, blocked and roofed, smothered by Vega. Gabriel Vega goes from Iolani to Stanford. There have been a few that have also gone that same path. Brad Lawson, an All-American, Scott Sakaida, and of course 2010 AVCA Player of the Year, Kavika Shoji.
Yep, and Gabo was a great basketball player, by the way. That's his first love is basketball, and he's become quite the volleyball player in chasing Kavika and Brad and Scott Sakaida to Stanford.
13 serving 18. Pass by Kanetake. Franciskovic high and away to Sador. Off the block right there is Enriquez. Set left side. It's Hayden off the block. Kanetake covers it. Now Zarkovic from the opposite position. Cardinal in transition. The set timing not there, so free chance now for Hawaii. Sador off-speed hit. Good diving save by Tublin. Vega from the back row, caught it fat. Out of bounds it goes. Point for the Rainbow Warriors.
Solid rally. Both teams playing some pretty good defense. Blocks are lining up well. Enriquez, the libero for Stanford, and Kanetake, both of them dominating in the dig department.
Good look there at number 19, Sean Kemper. He is a middle blocker switched to the setter position. You heard me correctly. A middle blocker who will take on the setting responsibilities in place of Kyle D'Agostino from time to time. As Hayden's able to put a finish and an exclamation point on that sequence. But of course, all of the shuffling at the setter position brought about by the aforementioned injury to James Shaw, 6'8" junior, second-team ABCA All-American last year. All he did was lead this Stanford team as a sophomore to the national title game a year ago.
Exactly. Phenomenal setter in the mix for Rio in 2016. He's that good.
Holt. Oh, he had to hang up there for an extra moment before finding the deep corner. And now a substitution for Hawaii. As coming in for the first time is Scott Hartley, the 6'5" senior. Become slowly but surely a bit of a fan favorite.
He's in that position with Kapono Faye. They're sort of trading off that outside hitter position, but now he's taking that serving position because Henrik Moll got hurt. He's normally the serving specialist.
And Hartley sends it into the twine. More substitutions now on the side of Stanford. Grant Delgado will enter the game for the first time. 5'9" redshirt senior. Listed as a libero, but he'll come in to serve. Now, we mentioned the injury to the great setter, James Shaw. He's actually sitting on the Stanford bench, and John Costi, the head coach, questioned his choice of color for the cast on his lower leg injury.
It's green, I think.
Oh, it's green. He said, knowing we were going to Hawaii, why would he choose green? Sador, big windup, and he finds that sideline.
You know, Shaw didn't have just one injury. He's had 4 this year. A knee operation in the summertime. Then he injured his thumb. Then he injured his shoulder. And this latest one is a stress fracture in his ankle. And he is a pretty important part to this team, returning first-team All-American, second-team All-American.
Yeah, I mean, and 6'8", so they go from that to Kyle D'Agostino,
5'9".
5'9". What a serve by Sador, great pass by Stanford, but a soft touch and chance now for Hawaii. Faye had to come in tight along that net. It's a net violation called against Stanford, but he went off the block and out anyway. Point for Hawaii. They're up a 7 spot here in the first.
OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Straub and Hawaii Honda Dealers.
Back to the Stan Sheriff Center. There's James Shaw, the All-American setter. His father, Don, won 4 national titles in 16 years as Stanford's women's coach. Also coached the men for 7 years until 2005. But donning the green cast on that lower leg injury. Ironic that they are now here in Hawaii playing the Rainbow Warriors. Averill off the block. Pancake save attempt by Evan Enriquez for naught. And another point for Hawaii.
So Taylor Averill hitting .509 in MPSF conference matches. I believe that's leading the conference.
Now Sador to serve. 35 aces. Second in the MPSF. Put some heat on it. 65 miles an hour. Vega, speaking of heat, but right there was Kanetake. Now Faye. The roll shot. Vega popped it up. Enriquez last moment pops it up, and then it is hit long. They're going to call that a 4th touch on the Stanford side. Either way you look at it, point for Hawaii, and it's a ball here in the first, a 4-0 run for the Bows. Look at John Costi. Took over the program in 2007 after the retirement of James Shaw's father, Don Shaw. Right now awaiting the Brooks Sador serve. Into the net it goes. That was a 71-mile-per-hour effort.
I got the speed guns in the end zones, measuring the speed of the serves. I knew that Sador was going to go for it there and try to break 70 because he's got a 24-15 lead. If he misses, so what?
Here's Kemper. Pass by Zarkovic. Franciskovic goes to Averill. Couldn't quite roll it over. And a point for Stanford. So they prolong the conclusion of this set for at least another serve. Amid the chants, Kemper again. Pass by Fay. Franciskovic delay to Zarkovic. And there's your first set. 25-17. The top-ranked team in the land taking care of business in the opening stanza against 15th-ranked Stanford. Still plenty of volleyball remaining here under the Friday night lights of the Stan Sheriff Center.
Find the perfect gift for every occasion at Big Island Candies. Visit them in Hilo at Ala Moana Center or click on BigIslandCandies.com to view their entire collection and place your order today.
Back here at the Stan Sheriff Center, how it works, presented by Central Pacific Bank. Chris, take us through it.
Take a look at Francisco Hawaii Center. He's going to go to the left. He's going to draw Conrad Kaminsky over to his right. Conrad Kaminsky's the middle blocker. There he goes, drift, drift, drift. And here's a against the flow set all the way back to Brooks Sador, and he drills it into the corner. Sador gets a one-on-one situation with Daniel Tublin right there. And the attacker will win that battle about 90% of the time if they're one-on-one against the blocker. But give all the credit there to Jennings Franciskovic for that against the flow, against the grain set.
The two 11s ended up battling on that pin, Sador against Tublin. But you're right. I mean, how many defenders along the net are going to assume that Franciskovic would be able to complete that set?
Running one way, setting the other. It's not an easy task. Micah Christensen's pretty good at it for USC. Local boy from Kamehameha. He's one of the better ones. He does it a lot internationally. Kavika Shoji used to do it a lot and is still doing it internationally.
Yeah. Speaking of a guy who might be targeting Rio.
Yeah, actually be a battle, I think, between Shaw and Christensen and Kavika Shoji. Those are three of the primary guys who are trying for two setting spots.
Series record sponsored by Aston Hotels and Resorts. We'll take a quick peek here. Hawaii leading the series slightly. The last meeting was March 15th, Stanford winning in 5. In fact, Stanford winning both meetings last year at Maples. Set 2 underway. Outside set goes to Tublin. And Tublin with a little extra smoke on it. And good start here in the second for the Cardinal. Now, with your head coach, John Costi, what are you telling your players? How do you adjust from what you saw in that opening set?
Well, like I said, I think the key to the game for Stanford is to serve well from behind the service line. And Agostino is one of their better servers, by the way, right now. Didn't get them to serve poorly, but they did not act past perfect by Siki.
One-hand save by D'Agostino. Then Sador getting another swing at it. Somebody got into the twine. No whistle. Here's Sador again. Blocked off of his shoulder and out. So that is a point for the Cardinal.
The second thing I was going to say, other than serving tough, is to have guys like Tublin up there blocking well up the net, especially getting the hand on Brooks Sador's attacks. Tublin gets all over it, bounces it off Sador's back. Stanford jumps out 2-0.
Did you see that one-handed save by D'Agostino, who's here now with the serve? Zarkovic, the middle set, Averill dug up over the net, so free chance for Hawaii. Franciskovic, a second time to Averill, block. Right there was Kanetake. It'll be Fay off the bump set. Advantage now for Stanford. Right side, it's Vega. High hands, kept alive by Enriquez. Overpass, and Averill pumps it down.
And of all people, arguably the best passer on the court, overpassed that ball. Enriquez, that ball just got away from him. There's Kanetake save right there. Pops up with one hand. Enriquez had one as well earlier. And Averill has the last say.
Kanetake is worth the price of admission.
How about 6 digs in the first? How about 6 digs in the first set? The average is like 2.7 to be second in the country, I think.
Sador off of what was a pretty nice dig from Zarkovic. Sador able to finish it off of the Kanetake set. We're tied at 2. Long breath by Sador. Here it comes. On the back row, it's Hayden. Kanetake again. Here's Faye off the block. Diving save Enriquez. Back row set to Hayden. Through the triple block.
Now some solid transition volleyball by Stanford. Great digs in the back by Enriquez. Agostino giving a great pipe set to Madison Hayden, who leads the team in kills per set at 3.
How about that pass by Kanetake rolling along the floor, and it winds up a kill for Brooks Sador. That has been such a key for Hawaii, the ability of Kobe Kanetake to keep sequences alive.
Exactly. I'd say that is the key reason why they have differentiated themselves from the rest of the pack and are number 1 in the country. Is they've got that extra swing as Kanetake gives them all the time.
Here's Hayden coming flying in. Kanetake whips it up in the air. It goes off the scoreboard. Bumps it too far for Zarkovic to get to. That one took a weird ricochet off the side of the jumbo screen after the Kanetake swinging dig. So 4 serving 3 here early on in the second, and Conrad Kaminsky. AVCA All-American honorable mention last year. All-MPSF second team. The pass by, yep, you guessed it, Kanetake. Here's Sador. Off the block and down.
Kaminsky leads this team in aces. You saw right there, he made it difficult even for Kanetake to pass the ball up. Kaminsky with 25 aces on the year. He also leads them in errors, though, unfortunately, with 70.
Here's Averill. He's done pretty well from the service line this year. 25 aces, that's second on the team. Oh, put some heat on that one. Back row set goes to Tublin. That's going to be a point for Hawaii. They're going to say it didn't get above the tape. The Stanford team, we talked about that run to the national title game last year, losing to Loyola Chicago, and what they lost. 5 seniors to graduation, including All-American Brian Cook, Stephen Irvin. They had to replace 72% of the Cardinal offense from a season ago. That's incredible. Free chance now for Hawaii after the Cardinals scramble. Miscommunication, so the freebie goes to the other side. D'Agostino goes back row, Tublin sends it too deep. But we asked John Koski.
Is that a touch them all?
yeah, that one is, yeah.
Touch them all?
That's a big fly right there. But we talked to John Koski before the match about that.
Yeah.
All of the offense lost. He says, I was asked several times, how do you replace 72% of your offense? He says, you don't.
You don't.
You just don't. Oh, what a serve by Averill. Chased down by D'Agostino. And the swing by Hayden kept alive by Faye. Sador, awkward jump, but he's able to get it over. Good diving save, Enriquez, and it's Vega going off the block and into the antenna. Evan Enriquez, 6'2" freshman from Honolulu, Hawaii, out of Kamehameha, Hawaii Island. 3-time BIIF Player of the Year. The libero had a good sequence there for sure.
2-time state player of the year. All of that swinging at the ball, not digging.
Here's Vega, 2 hands it over. Kanetake there to cover it. Zarkovic against a double block. Is a little tight to that twine. He sends it long. So things a little ragged on really both sides of the net here in the early goings of the second stanza. Gabo with the serve. Here's Holt off the block, and the quick swing by Hayden sniffed out by Kanetake. Now Sador off the touch and down.
Sonora looks so much sharper than he did a month ago. The last time we saw him, you know, his arm just looks livelier. His legs look livelier. Seems like he's hitting his stride here late in the season at the right time of the year.
7 kills for Sador. Franciskovic with the serve. Middle set goes to Haley. Hawaii keeps it alive. Zarkovic winds up, uncoils, and unleashes another point for Hawaii.
And guess who gave Hawaii another swing? Colby Kanataki with yet another dig.
It's what he does. You know, you mentioned Sador and sort of that lull he went through here earlier in the season. That tends to happen with a guy who gets as many swings as Brooks Sador does.
Yeah, and I think what's happened is Jenning Franciskovic has learned to move the ball around a little bit better. He's going to Taylor Avery a little bit more, goes to Davis Holt more, goes to Siki. Now Siki's healthy again. So it takes a lot of pressure off Brook. And so when Brook does get his sets, he makes the most of them.
I imagine tomorrow, senior night, Brooks Sador, he's one of the top candidates to get emotional. He's an emotional guy on the floor.
Absolutely. Bring the Kleenex.
Franciskovic trying to curl that to the near sideline, misses wide. And from what we gather, the 7 seniors who will be honored, just about all of them have their family here, or at least they will be here for the ceremonies tomorrow. The serve by Hayden. Sador, he went up an extra level. The great dig by Hayden, and it's going to be an over-the-net attack by Hawaii.
Didn't he touch it first, though?
Davis Holt interfering with this ball right here.
No, but he trying to put
it's
it
like
over? No.
Agostino attacked it first. I'm not sure about that call.
Charlie Wade looking for an explanation as well. Joe Sloat upstairs, Wayne Lee, the downstairs official, and Wes Kawachi, Sam Montalvo, the 2 line judges. And I don't know if Charlie Wade is satisfied yet as to any explanation on this.
Yeah, to me it looks like D'Agostino's trying to hit the ball over and Davis Holt's just trying to block it. I'm not sure of the call there.
Sador trying to right things, diving save, Enriquez nicely done. Vega sends it to the deep corner. Franciskovic was there, now it's Zarkovic saved by Kanetake off the block. Sador again through the block, right there is Tublin. Good rally here, Tublin. Dug up by Franciskovic. Fade, second touch, and Sador will have to freebie it over. Cardinal go middle to Haley. And he finally finishes a long sequence.
That sequence right there, with starting with Enriquez's diving save right there. A beautiful way he kept the ball on his own side of the court, and then ends with Haley's shot. That's the kind of Stanford volleyball Stanford played when they beat BYU 2 straight when BYU was ranked #1 in the country. And sent BYU reeling to, I think, 4 other straight losses.
Fade from the back row. That one got blocked back. Kanetake with the bump set to Zarkovic, but he hit it into the pin.
That was a pretty good and very difficult bump set that Kanetake put up there for Sonora.
4-0 run here for Stanford. They lead by 2 in the second. Welcome back. Let's go inside the numbers presented by Levitt, Yamane, and Soldner. And there it is, Hawaii's kill percentage differential in 2015, plus 114. You see Hawaii hitting 319, opponents 205.
2 teams going in different directions. Stanford losing 72% of their offense. Hawaii increasing their hitting percentage 114 points.
The serve out of the timeout by Hayden. Stanford by 2 here in the second. Hawaii leading the match 1-0. But Brooks Sador looking to change things. He's had the hot hand from the get-go.
I think one thing Brooks Sador has improved on this year, his final year here at Hawaii, is his left side hitting. He hits left side when you're on an opposite. You hit left side on 1 rotation. And he's got a lot better at hitting on that 1 chance he has to hit on the left.
Served by Zarkovic. Here's Vega, 1-hand dig by Kanetake. Holt got blocked. Sador with the swing. That one didn't get high enough to get over the net. A rare hitting error by Brooks Sador here in this match tonight.
It was an awkward set, awkward approach, awkward swing.
Served by Haley. Here's Holt. And he was able to plug that one through the double block that was offered. So now Davis Holt will go back behind the end. Great article by Stephen Sy in the Honolulu Star-Advertiser on the seniors that will be honored this weekend. And Davis Holt had a great story.
Yeah.
He had all
Nobody
that height, all that lankiness.
Nobody predicted that he'd ever make Division I.
Coming out of Marinal. Tublin. He got shut down there. Averill and Sador. Yes, the roof was up.
Tublin, a 6'8" star out of Pittsburgh, highly recruited, Fab 50, two-time All-Academic MPSF player.
Back row, that's Hayden. And he's able to find that sideline. Good hard angle of a hit.
Madison Hayden's a lot like Siki Zarkovic. Zarkovic around 6'4", Hayden around 6'3", but both of them move the ball around, hit that big set out of the back row very well. See where he leads them in kills with over 3 per set.
Kyle D'Agostino with the serve, and he soft touches it into the net. The freshman from Tampa, Florida. Comes from a volleyball family. His dad, Randy, a Hall of Fame girls volleyball coach. Sister Mackenzie plays for Florida.
Two-time he played with the youth national team. He's supposed to be a libero on that team, too. They end up setting on that team as well. So everywhere he goes, he seems to get converted. Somebody gets hurt, I guess.
That's Tublin off the block and out. So a point for Stanford. This season, OCSports fans can check out the serve speeds during our telecast. Mahalo to Chevron for making it possible for volleyball fans to get inside the game. Speed on that one, just under 60 mphs.
Well, very few players can get into the 60s and keep it in all the time. 50s is more of an area where they at least get the ball in most of the time, and 70s is a sort of an ungodly number, hard to reach.
Tublin took a little something off. That was 58 miles an hour. Here's Faye through the block and down. So Hawaii back within a point. 13 serving 14 here coming up.
5 kills for Faye now, playing pretty steady volleyball. He did not start the road trip starting. Scotty Hartley started and Faye sort of finished. He was passing a little bit better, and Scott Hartley was struggling a little bit. But the two of them are really interchangeable, for sure.
Pass by Enriquez. Back set goes to Vega. Blocked by Zarkovic, and it was last touched by Vega. Out of bounds, so a roof and a point for Zarkovic and the Bows.
Let's start with swing block, goes up, turns, presses over the net. The ball, I think, hit Vega on the way down.
Faye's had some good stints behind the service line. That one just missed long, much to the chagrin of the fans. We might want to see a slow motion replay of that one, but Stanford is first to 15. They lead by a digit here in the second. Welcome back, your Mid-Pac Petroleum leaderboard. Hawaii's single-season winning percentage, 1996, 27-3, a winning percentage of 900, but 2015, so far doing pretty well. 21 wins for the first time since 2006 to just 3 losses. What a ride it's been so far here in 2015 for Charlie Wade. Stanford by 1 here in the second set. Taylor Averill tying things up from that middle position. It is the 10th, maybe that 9th time already in this second set that things have been knotted up.
It's pretty amazing that Taylor Averill has played 4 positions at Hawaii. His last one finally settling in the middle and making first-team All-American and maybe Player of the Year candidate.
Good serve there, but a good pass by Tublin. Now Vega through the block and down. Gabo Vega. I mean, we have seen this guy go through a meteoric rise as far as his value to this team in this 2015 campaign.
Yeah, he really, you know, like I said last year, that a while ago, he really struggled last year just getting to see straight. He was having concussion symptoms all year long, and that's why he redshirted. But boy, he worked out hard during the summer. I saw him play a lot of beach volleyball, and he was trying to get better with his footwork and passing, and It sure paid off because he's had an amazing year this year.
Yeah. Here's Franciscovich. Diving past Tublin. The set goes high and away to Hayden. Off the block and out. So that is a point for Stanford. That one oh so close on the sideline. Now there's going to be a discussion amongst the officiating crew.
You can say maybe that Gabo Vega touched him.
Well, it definitely landed out. I think that is the precise discussion, Chris. Whether Vega touched it, and now John Costi will have a word because they flipped the call, initially calling it a Stanford point. Let's see if we can tell here.
Vega tries to touch it right there. Let's see if he gets any piece of it. Hard to tell on that particular shot. The only person who knows whether Gabo Vega touched it is Gabo Vega.
Yeah. And I don't think he's going to say anything yet.
He pretty much saw.
I think the linesperson, the angle the linesperson had there wasn't the greatest to see a touch there.
They will call a touch off of the block. So it becomes a roof for Hawaii and becomes a point for the Rainbow Warriors. And John Costi doesn't understand why that call got reversed.
Right there, that's why it got reversed, but it's just hard to see a touch there.
Yeah.
I don't think there was.
Back row set. Tublin dug up over the net, so another chance for the Cardinal. D'Agostino goes right side. Vega comes flying in. No doubter on that one. Off the block and out. Point for Stanford.
Here comes that one time where Stanford makes this substitution. Sean Kemper at 6'7", comes in for the 5'9" D'Agostino and becomes the front row center, giving some a little bit bigger block.
Served by Hayden. Pass Kanetake, beautifully done. Right side, Zarkovic. Vega pops it up in the air, and on the second touch, the swing by Tublin, the scramble play by Hawaii, and it's Faye from the back row. Dug up over the net. The swing by Holt, and he puts it down. Scramble plays that end well for Hawaii. We have seen it all season long.
Kanetake again with the dig. He's everywhere. Really good dig, and Davis Holt with the overpass.
Zarkovic with the serve. Pass Hayden, right side. It's Vega from behind the line. Dug up back over the net. Quick middle goes to Haley. Popped up by Hawaii. Zarkovic smothered by a triple block. Getting the gist of it was Daniel Tublin.
I'll tell you who played well during that rally was Madison Hayden. He took Zarkovic's tough serve and popped it up on perfectly so Stanford could run a play. Here's Boulder Kanetake with yet another dig to give Stanford a swing. The three blockers up. Tough to squeeze it through there. Even the magical Siki can't pull that one out of the hat.
So Grant Delgado will serve as a Volleyball Magazine third-team All-American last year as the full-time libero.
19 digs versus BYU in the NC2A semis was a career record for him.
Sador, boy, he loves that opposite position. He has grown into that position, and he has become an elite level opposite hitter. 9 kills now for Brooks Sador. And Scott Hartley in and back to serve. 12 aces for Hartley on the season. Pass by Tublin. They go to Vega. Couldn't get a full swing on it. Hartley off the ricochet keeps it going. Now Faye, the big windup. Popped up in the air by Enriquez. Chased down by Hayden. But nobody could get that third touch over for Stanford. And it's a point for the Rainbow Warriors.
Not much communication there with that ball between two people. D'Agostino and Tublin just did not communicate. One of them should have taken it and put it over, kept the ball alive, because that was a terrific dig and scramble play.
So John Costi signals for a timeout. Stanford down by 2. And for a team that's fighting for its playoff life. It comes down to those plays. It comes down to fingertip touches. I mean, just ask Duke, Wisconsin basketball how important some of those fingertip touches can be. But John Costi thinking, hey, these are vital points that are being played right now for our overall success in this match, and thus overall success with regard to the postseason.
Yeah, had that one little touch call gone for Stanford instead of against, it'd be 2018 Stanford now instead of 2018 Hawaii. And rally scoring, that's how it works.
Take a look at tonight's Jack Fact. All-around excellence. Hawaii is the only team to rank in the top half of the MPSF in all 6 major statistical categories: kills, assists, hitting percentage, blocks, digs, and service aces. And I hate to continue on a basketball analogy, but Brooks Sador, actually the one that brought this up, he compares Hawaii and has been trying to communicate to his teammates, trying to compare this Hawaii team to the San Antonio Spurs. He says, hey, look, maybe we don't have that one LeBron James or that one superstar player. We have a lot of really good players, a lot of veteranship. How about we just be a really good team? And you see it in the all-around volleyball numbers. Yeah,
and that's what's happening. You know, last year at this time, Sador was hitting 1 million balls and getting a lot of kills, but it wasn't necessarily translating into a lot of W's for Hawaii. This year, everybody's getting their fair share of sets, and like the San Antonio Spurs, they're winning more games. Spurs 19-3 in the last 22 games.
Yeah, 10 straight. 20 serving 18 out of the timeout. Hartley. 63-mile-an-hour serve. Vega has to touch it over. Franciskovic goes right side. Sador off the block and down. Like clockwork.
And credit to Scott Hartley coming out of a timeout. A lot of players will pull the trigger a little bit and hit a soft one or hit even a jump float. Hartley ripped that one over plus 60. That was amazing. And Sador converts at the end because Stanford could not pass Hartley's serve.
Timeout signaled once again by John Costi. Interesting question that was posed to Ryan Suji and Lisa Strand-Maha in the pregame. They were asked about what is tougher, ascending to the #1 position, the #1 ranked spot in the AVCA, or maintaining that position. Hawaii has now been there for 4 weeks. What's your opinion on that, Chris?
I think both are tough. Sorry to beg out of that one.
Very political of you.
Yeah, but you know, I know how hard it is to get to #1. John Costi had to do it, and it took him 4 years to go from worst to first in that run they had from 2007 to 2010. And Charlie Wade has had a similar sort of ascension where they were out of the playoffs last year. So in his mind, it's taken him 4 years at least to get to #1. And so it's like that, a lot of hard recruiting, trips around the world, trips to Europe, go through injuries, illnesses, keeping kids in school, you know, the whole thing that involves in managing a team. So I would say, he'd say the ascension is pretty tough, but now, you know what, you ask the players what's tougher. The players on this year's team will tell you, don't like having a target on my back every night, night in and night out.
This is a team that started the year tied for 10th in the AVCA rankings and had to slowly but surely climb, and now, of course, at that #1 position. And you're right about Charlie Wade. He's into continuing the momentum and maintaining that spot. When they first ascended to the #1 spot, he first caught wind of it while he was on a trip to Europe recruiting. And people are saying, hey, what are you doing? You guys are the #1 team. He says, how do you think we got there? How do you think we're going to stay there? I need to recruit. 21 serving 18. Hartley with the slap over. Here's Vega. He slaps it through the double block of the Rainbow Warriors.
Pablo Vega continues to get the job done on the outside. It's his 6th kill.
And now Kyle D'Agostino, we mentioned, came into the program as a libero. In fact, was a top 5 recruit overall at the libero position coming into this program, but because of injuries at the setter spot, had to transition to the center position.
He's played very little libero this year, let me tell you.
Very little.
Way more at the setting position.
Good transition by Hawaii offensively as Taylor Averill puts down his 6th kill. And now Sador. Get ready for this. took a little something off of it. Back row set goes to Hayden, and he gets it past the efforts of Brooks Sador.
Well, Madison Hayden does a nice job of cutting the ball back across his body. He also had angle of approach. Picks up his 6th kill. Just a steady all-around player. I like his passing tonight, too. He's done a great job of passing.
So by Tublin. Here's Fay against a solo block. Opportunity presenting itself, but Fay unable to cash in on it, misses wide. And so here are the Cardinal 1 point down late in the second.
Hawaii's 3-point lead is all of a sudden shrunk to 1.
Oh, but that helps Hawaii's cause as Tublin sends it into the twine. So 23 serving 21, and perhaps one of Hawaii's most effective servers so far in this match behind the end line in Kupono Fay. Knuckleballs it over. High and away the set goes to Hayden, blocked. Right there's Vega. They go back to Hayden, blocked and roof! Franciscovich!
Hayden took a good swing at that ball. He thought he had the line. All of a sudden, there's Jennings Franciscovich on the line, turning the ball back into the court. One of the better blocking centers in the country, by the way.
3rd on the team in blocks entering this match. Here's Vega off the block. And out. May have gotten tangled up with Zarkovich under the net. Zarkovich walking gingerly somewhat after that sequence, but looks to be okay. Point for the Cardinal. They're down 2. Aloha ball for Hawaii here in the second.
Stanford's #1 ace and leader, Conrad Kaminsky, behind the line.
The high toss past Zarkovich. Franciscovich to Siki. Off the block and out. And that's how set number 2 concludes. Good crowd on hand here at the Stan Sheriff Center. They're watching their top-ranked Rainbow Warriors possibly open up the broom closet.
OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii and Kaiser Permanente.
Welcome back to the Stan Sheriff Center. Let's take a look at the McDonald's match statistics. Chris, what stands out?
First thing that jumps out is the kill percentage. Hawaii just much more efficient offensively, hitting .385. It's above their normal average by about 80 points. And more hitting errors by Stanford also jumps out. Blocking also jumps out. Hawaii dominated the net 8-3, doubling up on Stanford. And there you see Hawaii with the digging in the back row as well, getting 7 more digs in Stanford. So Hawaii getting it done, the front row, the back row, and an efficient offense.
Brooks Sador leading the way for Hawaii with 10 kills. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Do you sense any need for any sort of adjustment from Hawaii here as they have an opportunity to close this thing out in 3?
Not really. The only thing I would say is that if Hawaii does get a lead, I think it'd be wise for Charlie Wade to reward some of those people who've been playing well all week and have been, allowing the first team to be as good as they are. People like Scott Hartley, possibly. I think Radner, Zach Radner's another one who could get some time in the middle. But we'll see. That's sort of a feel thing by the coach. Charlie's just got to feel whether or not he's got a safe enough lead to start throwing some subs in.
And it is senior weekend, so there is also that motivation to possibly get some of your seniors a little more action than usual.
Garrett Komisarek, Ryan Leung haven't been in yet, to be sure.
But they need to get off to a good start in order to create that possibility. And Brooks Sador, not a bad guy to do that. He gets into one. 56-mile-an-hour serve. Left side set goes to Vega, and he rattles it through the double block and down.
Vega picks up kill number 8. He's leading all Cardinal. Next one is Tublin's got 4. Madison Hayden's got 6, and then Daniel Tublin's got 4.
And it's Tublin to serve into the net it goes. He had an out serve late in that second set, which proved to be somewhat crucial. Benefited Hawaii greatly down the stretch. opens things up in similar fashion here. Here's Kupono Fei now to serve. Right back at you.
Kupono Fei was not feeling good about his jump serve. It was going long there originally, so I have a feeling he's gone to the jump float for location, maybe picking on what they perceive as a weak passer.
Evan Rakestraw, a 7-footer, coming into that front line for Stanford. But it doesn't matter, as Siki Zarkovic is able to make it work anyway. But yeah, Kevin Rakestraw, a 7-foot redshirt freshman from Newport Beach, California. U.S. men's junior national team member in 2014. His older brother Ken is a professional triathlete, and well, he's just really tall.
He is. A great high school player, won gold at the Junior Olympics for Balboa Bay Club, Charlie Brand's old club.
Hayden smothered by Davis Holt.
Well, Davis Holt did a nice job of tiptoe blocking Rakestraw and then quickly getting out to the side to get a double block up on Madison Hayden. One of the reasons that Holt got pulled on the road trip, and Zach Ragnar went in for him, was because he wasn't getting the job done blocking-wise. Now he's much better.
And the 7-footer Rakestraw gets turned back by Jennings Franciscovich.
Boy, it continues in dominant blocking ways, 10-3 at the net.
Averill again to serve. Misses wide on a 55-mile-an-hour offering. So Gabriel Vega now to serve for the Cardinal. Pass by Fay. It's Holt on that short outside set. He's able to pound it down.
Picks up kill number 4 in 5 tries, hitting 800.
There's Franciscovich. Pass tight to the net, and nothing doing. It's going to be a point for Hawaii. A delayed ace, if you will. And one of the disadvantages, unfortunately, for Kyle D'Agostino, not blessed certainly with the size of a James Shaw at 6'8" at 5'9". Sometimes those types of overpasses a little tougher for him to get to. Here's Vega, goes off the blocking out.
You know, Kyle D'Agostino has ways of making up for his size, I'll tell you. He plays with a lot of heart, high volleyball IQ, doesn't make many mistakes. One thing he does need is the ball passed off the net just a little bit more to be helpful.
That one's sent long, but when you think about what D'Agostino was expecting to do in contribution to this team and what he is doing and how far he's come in that role, it's really remarkable. And John Costi saying, hey, look, we've had to really do a lot of shuffling, switching, guys who came in at other positions, libero, middle blocker, they're now setting. He says, but that's also a testament to the kind of players we recruit here at Stanford. They can play volleyball in an all-around way, as Kanetake laid out to try to get that dig, but Vega earns the kill.
And not only did D'Agostino go from a libero to a setter, but look what Sean Kemper did. He went from a middle blocker to a setter once James Shaw went down.
I mean, that's remarkable. Rakestraw awaiting the whistle to serve as some perspiration being mopped up on the Hawaii side of the net.
Rakestraw played for one of the great high school volleyball coaches in the country, Danny Glenn, out of Newport Harbor High School. Glenn has sent so many players to the Division I level. Rakestraw just yet another one.
Frankly, this is a Stanford team. We talk about what they lost. This is a very young roster. 5 seniors, 4 juniors, 1 sophomore, 8 freshmen on this Cardinal roster. Vega hammers that one long. Point for Hawaii.
He saw the block was well formed, so he went to the high hands just a little bit too high.
And Davis Holt will serve. Largest lead of this third set for the Rainbow Warriors. 9 serving 5. Two-handed in the air by Enriquez. Right side, Vega. Blocked and roofed. Kupono Faye got the gist of it. And a timeout by Stanford's John Costi. Hawaii has the Cardinal doubled up here in the third. Hawaii and Stanford in set 3, and there's a good look at Rainbow Warrior assistant Spencer McLaughlin, a former Stanford Cardinal, and assistant coach for the Stanford Cardinal, Daniel Rasai, former University of Hawaii setter.
And who coached Spencer at Stanford. And Daniel's parents, Richard and Jackie, are watching as we speak, cheering on Daniel, obviously. And then they'll go back to cheering for Hawaii when Stanford leaves town, I suppose.
It was an interesting sort of program trade going on there. McLaughlin for Rasai, Daniel, now married, has an 8-month-old son, Eli.
Eli's probably watching too, along with Annie.
Well, there's Hayden. Basically had a free shot with nobody up for Hawaii.
Actually, I had the honor of marrying Annie and Daniel.
Well, performing the service. You didn't marry them, but
I officiated.
No, that's a great honor, though. And I talked with Daniel before the match, and he had nothing but really wonderful things to say about the job you did. Here's April. Dug up by Enriquez. Slapped over by Tublin. Diving save Zarkovic. So the back bump set by Kanetake, and Faye is dug up. Now Vega off the block and out. Point for Stanford. So a little life from the Cardinal here in the last couple of sequences.
Since John Costi called timeout, they've been on a 3-point run. A little concerned by Charlie Wade right now, and Stanford's playing some pretty good volleyball.
The crowd chants. D'Agostino, another good serve. Middle set, Averill, hard angle, just tickled that sideline. And it's a point for the Rainbow Warriors, putting an end to that Stanford run.
Averill now with 8 kills, only 1 error, hitting well over his season average of 500. Now hitting 583, not a bad number.
Sador. That one hits the tape. So how many weddings have you performed, though, since we broached that subject? 7?
Yeah, I don't know how I got into it. I don't go looking for trouble. It just sort of appears at my doorstep.
No, that's fantastic. That's a wonderful thing.
3 OCSports.
Here's Averill. The touch shot, pinballed around. Great bump set to Hayden, but he had to take something off of it. Chased down, of course, by Kanetake. And Zarkovic goes off of D'Agostino upstairs.
Would you say that, in your opinion, since you've been away for a month, is Siki back now? What do you think?
If there was ever any doubt, all of those doubts have been quelled. And it's Siki's Pops. Milan, another assistant for Hawaii, starting the claps, as he always does. Always ebullient on that sideline. And Zarkovic, the sun, in the middle of that Hawaii roof once again.
Siki was the helper that time. He wasn't necessarily assigned at that spot. He went over and helped in the middle. Great teams kind of tend to do those little things.
13 serving 9. Quick middle set. Kaminsky dug up momentarily by Faye, but out it goes. Point for the Cardinal.
Connor Kaminsky had 4 aces against BYU in the national championship semifinal match last year. He was the only MPSF player to hit over 500 in 2014. No wonder he made All-American.
And he delivers an ace. You've been talking about his service abilities all night, and it came to fruition right there.
You see how emotional is he, too. He's a fiery competitor, loves to win.
Charlie Wade asking the officiating crew if he can get some perspiration wiped up, but Apparently it wasn't too bad, so they're going to play on it. And here's Kaminsky. 11 serving 13, took something off, overpass Fay, so a free chance for the Cardinal. Vega from the opposite side, off the block and out, and the Cardinal within a single point. A 3-0 run here for Stanford. Conrad Kaminsky once again back to serve.
That was one of our keys to the game. Remember I said Stanford's got to gamble from behind the service line to put Hawaii out of system. And they're certainly doing that right now.
Into the net it goes. You saw the double-digit kill numbers for Vega. 11 kills on 27 swings, hitting .222. Kaminsky will now have a seat. And it'll be Taylor Averill back to serve for Hawaii.
Stanford going with a 4-man serve-receive pattern now against Taylor Averill.
Here's Hayden, had the pass, got the set. Roll shot dug up by Sador. Now Zarkovic. Oh, he had a little extra pepper on it right there. (15-12) Rainbow Warriors looking for the sweep. Welcome back. Time now for our Fujitsu air conditioning cool play of the game.
Well, what's really cool about that is Colby Kanataki does a blind back bump set. Very difficult to do. Watch him here. He's got his back to the spot, gives it to Sador. Sador ends up finishing with a nice back row attack. But let's say Colby Kanataki does that time and again. It's a very difficult thing to bump that ball right on the money. Time again.
Joining live action, Gabo Vega, now 12 kills for him on 28 attempts. So he has now become perhaps the go-to offensive player for the Stanford Cardinal. Pass by Fay off the Vega serve. Here's Sador opposite position. Off the ricochet, Tublin keeps it alive. But a scramble by Stanford, so free opportunity for Hawaii. Holt couldn't get all of it. Dug up by Tublin. And again, a little miscommunication. Kanataki slaps it to keep it alive. And this time, Davis Holt finishes the deal.
So Kanataki, I guess, just makes up for his size by just extending his arms as high as he can and slapping at the volleyball. And somehow it gets up there where Hawaii can run a play.
I don't think you'd see some of those techniques in any textbook. He just comes up with touches that you don't believe. Again, miscommunication in transition for Stanford. Here's Sador against a solo block. And he gobbles it up. (11 put-downs for Brooks Sador. And a timeout taken by Stanford's John Costi.
I'd say this is a pretty impressive outing so far for Hawaii after the layoff they've had in the last couple of weeks. I started to imagine that, wow, maybe they got something special going when they came back and beat UCLA on night number 2. Came back after being down 2 sets at the end of that road trip, 4-game road trip. And they go down 2 sets and come back, win the next 3 with Alex Jones at the helm.
That's right.
And then the next night they go 3 and out. And I'm going, wow, these guys are really getting it. And that sort of momentum is carried on to tonight when they're starting to play like they did night 2 of UCLA.
And I think that people have also bought into this because of matches like that. Even though those were on the road, they see this win streak continue. They see this team at the #1 spot, maintaining that position now for 4 weeks. Look at across the way from where we're at, Chris. The seats from bottom to top are loaded. Now, the upper deck compared to the lower bowl has not necessarily been, well, in use that often for men's volleyball.
I think maybe only once this year we opened it up.
But as early as Monday, they had to open up tickets for the upper section because the lower bowl was full. And that just goes to show how much momentum and traction Charlie Wade and this program has started to establish.
It sort of galvanizes the community, too. You know, everybody loves a winner. And, you know, why not go cheer for the #1 team in the country? Get on the bandwagon. I saw Charlie before the game, and he was thanking fan after fan as he was going through the the tunnelway and saw fans and said, hey, thanks for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. So know that you're appreciated, you fans out there.
Sending Franciscovich with the serve. And it's Hayden off the block and out. Well done there by Madison Hayden, the junior from Huntington Beach, California. Had a 36-kill match when he was in high school, attended a high school in Anaheim, California. So he's used to getting plenty of opportunities and making them work.
A great all-around game, too. Great defender, great passer.
14, serving 17. Speaking of great passers, Kanetake delivers again. Off-speed hit by Zarkovic. One-hand save by Enriquez. Hayden! That was a blast from off the net.
And Enriquez made it happen with his diving save. Looking a little bit like Colby Kanetake right there.
So 15, serving 17. Stanford trying to extend this match, down 2 sets to none. That's not going to help. And that's been a bit of a trend for Stanford here in this match. When they have gotten close, when they have started to build some momentum, an out-serve has thwarted the effort.
I think they've got maybe 8 misses so far, but they've got 4 aces to go along with it. Not a bad ratio, 1-2.
Zarkovic, 63-mile-an-hour serve. Hayden from the back row. That one popped off the block into the air. Zarkovic sets up Sador. Diving save Enriquez. Tublin is dug up by Kanetake. Faye gets a swing and puts it down.
Oh, man, are these guys fun to watch or what? How about Enriquez with the first play? There's a standing ovation guy right there. Check this pancake pop-up by Evan Enriquez from the Big Island. And then Colby Kanetake from Wanalua popping it up. Defensive clinic going on. And then Kapono Faye down the line for his 7th kill. There's just one happy moment for Hawaiians after another.
That's MPSF volleyball right there. And you're right, on display, some island talent, and that's a beautiful thing to see. UH Athletics reaches out to you online each week with updates and promotions through its H-Mail e-newsletter. To register, visit hawaiiathletics.com and click on the H-Mail button. It's simple and it's free. An ace by Siki Zarkovic.
Siki's one. He's got that live arm, and it's looking stronger than ever. 15 aces so far, 38 errors. He's on like a 1-2, 1-3 kind of a ratio, and it's not bad at all. When he gets going, Hawaii's other servers get going. Hawaii's tough to stop. The word around the league, by the way, is watch out for Hawaii's serving. They just bring it. They bring the heat. They bring the location. They bring variety and diversity in their serving patterns as well. A couple jump floaters, and they just throw a lot of curveballs at you, and it's a very difficult team to pass against.
Grant Delgado to serve. Tickles the tape right there. Zarkovic. Franciscovich goes quick middle to Holt. That one dug up by Delgado. Tublin blocked. Kept alive by Hayden. Here's Vega from off the net. Right there is Kanetake. Now Zarkovic from the back row. Does it again. 11 kills for Siki Zarkovic.
Zarkovic starting to hit more balls out of the back row, diversifying Hawaii's offense a little bit. That's something I know Jennings Franciscovich has been working on, throwing a few new wrinkles into the offense. They'll be less predictable in the postseason when teams are seeing each other for the 3rd and 4th times.
There's Hartley. 59-mile-an-hour serve. Vega was able to just sort of negotiate that double block. And that's a point for Stanford. Hartley will sit after that service attempt. 13 kills for Vega, leading all hitters in this match. 30 swings for the redshirt sophomore. Agostino just got it over the net. Great second touch by Franciscovich, but Sador had to hurdle his setter to try to pass it over, but it hit the pin, and so an extended ace, if you will, and a point for the Cardinal.
Credit to D'Agostino, is a great serve. He's got 15 aces on the year. Here comes the hurdle. A little track going on. It is track and field season. Why not?
Pass by Zarkovic. Averill blocked and roofed. And into our area. So a timeout by Hawaii. Charlie Wade wanted to talk things over. Let's take another look here. Off the block and down.
Kaminsky and Tublin in on that one.
And I was kind of hoping with your volleyball experience that you'd be able to get a piece of that one and protect our broadcast area here.
I was watching my monitor here. Let's go to Ryan. What is Ryan?
All right, you're off the hook. Let's go to Ryan Kalei-Suji. Ryan.
Well, familiar face here in the stands at the Stan Sheriff Center. Former Warrior Josh Walker, back from playing professional. Josh, update us on what you're doing and where you're playing.
I have a baby on the way.
There you go.
I have a baby on the way. I just got back from Finland. We finished the playoffs like about 3 weeks ago, and I was here last week. So I've just been painting and getting ready for the baby to come down.
You know, taking a look, your team that you played on, one of the last teams to make it to the MPSF playoffs. What do you think a team needs to do in order to get to the precipice that your team did and the success you guys have?
They have to keep working on what they're doing. You know, they have a good system going. They have a lot of support coming off the bench. The year we did well in the playoffs, we had a lot of support coming off the bench. So as long as they're bench players, they can keep doing what they're doing and coming in and playing well. They have a good shot.
Well, we definitely want to introduce as well Tehani, his wife, former Wahine soccer player. Congratulations to both of you. Thanks for taking time to talk to us. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Ryan has to walk that very fine line of interviewing and presenting our audience with some fantastic guests and not overly bugging the people who want to enjoy the match. So job well done there, Ryan. 19 serving 21. What a player Josh Walker was in his time at the University of Hawaii. Skywalker indeed. Faye with the pass off of that serve. Sador had to evade Franciscovic. That one got blocked, and Sador keeps it alive. Now Faye is blocked and roofed, and all of a sudden the Cardinal back within one. Now these moments have occurred throughout this match, and at times like this, the Cardinal have served it into the net or have perhaps suffered from a miscue. Can they complete this comeback and tie things up here in the third?
4-point run going on. D'Agostino's really got it going from behind the service line. Another good serve.
Two-hand pass, Zarkovic. Here's Faye. And that one did not get over the net. It's a point for Stanford, and we are tied at 21.
Charlie Wade's got one more timeout left. Let's see if he runs a little bit different offense here. Brooks Sador is out there exhorting his teammates, saying, hey, let's get out of this rotation. I'm tired of this rotation.
The crowd trying to urge the home team on. D'Agostino into the net. It goes.
Hard to fault Kyle D'Agostino for hitting that ball in the net because he brought them back to even, but could not keep the run going.
And here's Sador. The crowd of reportedly just under 5,000 through the turnstile, putting their hands together. Here's Vega off the block and out, so we're knotted up again. 14 kills now for Gabriel Vega.
Even though Stanford lost 72% of their offense, and they lost 6'8" James Shaw, their All-American, they find ways to hang around and beat people.
Pass by Kanetake, and Zarkovic misses wide. Point for the Cardinal, and they lead.
Earlier, this team went 5 with Irvine.
Just the second lead change of this third set. And a timeout taken. Charlie Wade using that final break in the action. What is he telling his team right now?
Well, right now he's talking to his coaching staff first, to Spencer and Milan. And they're talking about, you know, how are we going to get out of this rotation? The first thing I'm sure they're talking about is get a good pass up, because they've been struggling with the Stanford serve. Stanford's taking some more chances on their serve, gambling a little bit, and making it difficult for Hawaii to put up a good pass. So I'm sure they're going to talk about putting up a good pass. And then next, they got to go to, I think, the hot player, which is Siki. Stanford's also hitting 320 in the third set. Hawaii's only hitting 227. So there's another difference in the two teams. Hawaii Stanford's in the lead right now. But Siki, I believe, is in the back row right now. So look for the ball to be sent maybe to Sador coming out of the back row.
So the Cardinal putting things together a little bit here in the third.
On a good pass, watch him to set Averill. Averill hits 500. That's a pretty good chance for a side out.
Yeah, we actually haven't heard from Taylor Averill for a little bit. He's got 8 kills on 14 swings, hitting 429 to go along with a handful of blocks.
Believe it or not, the 429 is going to bring down his average.
yeah. An off night for Taylor Averill. If only we all could suffer from those kinds of off nights. 23 serving 22. This is quite a serve coming up here for Daniel Tubman. Made sure it got over the net. High and away, it goes to Faye. Hit it fat. Was there a touch? No touch. Point Stanford, and it's aloha ball for the Cardinal in the third.
And the master magician who brought this Hawaii team back from down 2-0 against UCLA, Alex Jones, goes back in.
Alex Jones replacing Franciscovich. Overpass by Zarkovich. Stanford goes right side. Vega off the block. Right there, Zarkovich. Jones sets up Averill. Kept alive by Vega off the ricochet. Back row set. Tublin hit it long. No touch. Point Hawaii. And it's 23 serving 24. So Charlie Wade trying to inject some spice into the match for Hawaii in the form of Alex Jones, the 6'4" senior from Sunnyvale, California. It's Faye serving. Two-hand pass, Enriquez, an overpass, and Zarkovich places it down.
Nice float serve by Kupoto that time. Ball's moving a lot. Here comes Jones out of the game now. I guess this is a blocking substitution. Jennings is an excellent blocker. I wouldn't be surprised to see Alex play in the next set if it does go in next set.
24 serving 24. Fifth tie of this third set. The set goes to Vega. Gets a triple block. Access denied.
And 5,000 stand as one.
Faye to serve for the match. High and away. It's Hayden. Kept alive. Back set by Kanetake to Zarkovich. Right there is D'Agostino. Enriquez sets a Vega. Block. And Ruth. Resilient Hawaii team comes through in the clutch again. Down 24-22 in the third. They're able to fight back and win 26-24. And they pull off the sweep. Ekahi, Elua, Aloha against the 15th ranked team in the country.
And again, it was the blocking that did it. Hawaii 15 blocks to Stanford's 5. And no two bigger blocks than the last two that got them those final 2 points.
Good fight certainly put up by the Cardinal. Gabriel Vega, the Hawaii product out of Iolani. A match-high 14 kills, hitting 206. Saw strong performances certainly from some of the other Islanders on the floor, including Evan Enriquez, the libero for Stanford. 11 digs for him. But Siki Zarkovich, 12 kills. Brooks Sador, 11. And Kobe Kanetake, 17 digs for the Rainbow Warriors as they do it in 3. And it is now a 15-match win streak for Hawaii.
5 digs per set for Kobe Kanetake. That's unheard of. You know, what leads the country is like 2.8 or something. Crazy.
And it just was a microcosm of what this team has done all season. Down 0-2 against UCLA at Pauley Pavilion. They come back and they win in 5. And certainly not the same level of drama in this 3rd set, up 2-0 on Stanford, but still down against an aloha ball serve. And they were able to fight back and win in extra points in that 3rd set. Busting out the brooms on Stanford. Scott Robbs is alongside Charlie Wade. Take it away, Scott.
Hey, thanks a lot, Bernard. Congratulations, Coach. What did you say to your team?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, you know, at the UCLA match, we played really good for the last 3 sets on the first night. And then the second night, we played really good the entire time. We know now, it's very clear to us what the level is for us to play. The level of communication, the level of celebration, the level of execution, the level of, you know, everything that has to happen. And I use the term looks like, sounds like, smells like. I mean, they know it. I thought we came out in the first set, we were really good. In the second set, we were disappointed. It wasn't the level that we've set for ourselves. And I'm just reminding them, that for us to be champions, it has to be that at that level every time we step on the court.
You know, one thing about being champions is having balance. Your team has so much balance, including your libero. Is there anybody better in the country than Colby?
I don't think so. I mean, I think he's the best libero, and Garrett Komisarik's pretty good too, right behind him. So, you know, it's certainly been one of the things this year. Lots of great performances from a number of different guys. And any given night, somebody's going to be a hero for us.
Well, you're kind of just talking about 3 more conference matches remaining. Are you guys kind of ramping it up now? Are you trying to get that mindset of postseason?
Well, it's exactly what I just said. We know the level now for us to play, you know, at our best, and that's really all we're asking of the guys. But we know what it is, and we're going to try to do that every night that we take the floor, no question.
Great crowd tonight too, Coach.
Yeah, really stoked on this. You know, and I think it's this kind of environment and this kind of crowd that reminds us how important athletics is to the whole state. You know, I mean, it's right now it's men's volleyball, but we've seen it with baseball, we've seen it with softball, we've seen it with Wahine volleyball, football, and it really is a special thing. The people of Hawaii absolutely love UH athletics, and it's great to be a part of. Thanks, everybody, for coming out.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
All right, back over to you, Kanoa and Chris.
Thanks a lot, Scott. A jacked up Charlie Wade for sure after a 15th straight win for his Rainbow Warriors. Bank of Hawaii presenting the players of the match. Gabo Vega, easy choice there for the Cardinal. A match high 14 kills. Siki Zarkovic, you made a comment during one of the timeouts, Chris, that you don't know if you've seen Zarkovic's arm as lively as it is right now in his entire career.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's all the rest he got while his ankle was resting or not, but it certainly is as alive as I've ever seen it. I think that rest did him a lot of good, allowed his whole body to heal, not just his ankle when he had that injury.
So Hawaii improves to 22-3 overall, 17-2 remaining in first place of the MPSF. Stanford falls to 10-15, 7-12 in conference. They'll do it again tomorrow, and it will be senior night. But at a time of so much transition here with regard to the University of Hawaii Athletics Department, there is a sense of hopefulness that surrounds this program as Hawaii, the #1 ranked team in the land, wins once again. For Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Do not forget about the post-game show following on the other side of this break. Hawaii in 3. We'll see you tomorrow. Aloha.